If you are that person that is expecting Tinubu to fix this country, trust me, you are wasting your time. How would you have a choice of Tinubu, Peter Obi, and Atiku, and Tinubu at the end of the day is your president? And some, even with after 1 year of testing what this man can dish out, some people are still supporting. Like, the truth about this thing is that you like support Tinubu, don't support Tinubu, it doesn't change anything. The truth is that the same Igbo man that you want to teach a lesson, the same Igbo man that you have sworn that they will never be present or you must reduce their political relevance in Nigeria, trust me, go to the beer parlors. Now them they cancel bottles. Any attempt, because you want to teach the Igbo man a lesson, you're just look at it. You're the one suffering at the end of the day, because these people already have a system of making money for themselves that is not tied to government.
So my people, during the election 2023, Tinubu said, I want to be your president. I will reduce your purchasing power and also increase tax net. And this is exactly what Tinubu is doing. So after INEC declared Tinubu a winner, some of the people came out and they were rejoicing, they were shouting, Igbo man will never be a president of Nigeria, that we are going to teach them a lesson. But right now, my people, who is teaching who a lesson, my people? Even though that this thing is affecting everyone, but you see, these Tinubu supporters, they are the one even suffering the most, because it's as if we have already prepared our mind that this is what is about to come. So it's not a surprise anyway. So Mr. Magnus came out and he talks about Nigerians that are still expecting good things to come out from this Tinubu administration. He said that we are just wasting our time, because at the end of the day, this thing that is happening right now is going to get worse until Tinubu tenure is over. So if you are waiting for something to change in this Tinubu administration, we all are just wasting our time. You need to prepare your mind for what is even about to come. So my people, let me allow you guys so that you can listen and hear what Mr. Magnus said here, because this video worth watching. Honestly, he really said a lot of bitter truth in this particular video. But before then, please, if today is your first time here, don't forget to subscribe, like this video, share it as well. Thanks so much for doing so.
If you are that person that is expecting Tinubu to fix this country, trust me, you are wasting your time. There are many reasons why Tinubu cannot fix this country. In fact, Tinubu will not fix it. Not that I don't want him to fix it. Certainly not. I don't mind even if the devil comes and fix Nigeria, provided everybody benefits at the end of the day. But Tinubu cannot fix this country. Not because he doesn't know how. It's just because he's not the right spanner to lose the right bolt. He is not the right tool for the challenging problem. That is just what it is. Now, somebody comes and said he is going to increase tax. He has been increasing virtually almost everything by floating naira. For some of you who don't know what it means to float the naira, it simply means to reduce the value of the naira by making so much of it available. You know, I said something now because of the intelligence quotients of Nigerians. Sometimes speaking to them is very difficult. Even as I speak, I find it difficult that my listeners will understand what I'm saying. But let me attempt to break it down in its most simplistic form. Perhaps I could just send the message through. Emefiele printed new naira notes, which was printed to replace the old naira notes. And towards the end of what month was that? Towards election period, they've succeeded in, they've succeeded in taking off all the old naira note. But something also happened. That was, you remember, there was a trailer that was stopped with naira load of money, the old naira notes. People bring in Ghana must go load of naira note, millions of naira. It shows that a lot of people have millions of naira in their houses and we're bringing it. And towards the election, it was believed that the old naira notes were replaced with the new one. Now, Tinubu came and said the old naira note should come into circulation and circulate side by side with the new naira note, which means the volume of naira note that was available before, which was enough to run the mainstream economy of buying and selling, is there, plus the new naira note. You see, so that means we have two volumes of currency in circulation. So you can see that, of course, the money will be valueless, because as much as say the price of things are high, it's because the quantity of money in circulation is much. We have the quantity of money. You see, quantity of money is different from the value of money. That you have quantity of money does not mean it must have the same value of money. Now, Tinubu has increased tax. Now, we have money in circulation. Tinubu increased tax, increased electricity, increased petrol, increased VAT, increased this, increased that. Banks are stealing from you. In fact, we are so vulnerable to all types of deductions that if you go out with 10,000, it's as if you didn't carry anything. But here was the point the guy said, the video I just watched, that made me want to do this video. Here's the point. The man said, Tinubu is increasing tax to make life difficult, asking you to endure these baby steps of pain, then use the same tax to buy palliative for you to cushion the hardship that the said tax resulted to. While your hospital, have you been to the hospital recently? I don't pray you go to the hospital. Have you been to the hospital recently? You don't go to the hospital lately. Have you been to the hospital? Yeah. Don't go to the hospital, even if it means it's just a small headache. There's a clinic very close to me. Before I traveled down, I had this dysentery. And before I knew it, I was spending close to 20,000 naira for just the treatment of dysentery. Injections, drip, medications, and consultation. 20,000 naira. School have just resumed. They've sent a circular to us that, owing to the realities of the new pricing, that school fees will be increased. Now we are shouting, well, we didn't discuss this in the last PTA. So, but we don't know. But whether we like it or not, it's very obvious that prices have to increase. So you increase tax. The essence of tax is to make money available for government to run its administration. But while they increase your tax, what are they using the money for? The alleged subsidy removal that was reduced, if at all it was, of course, there was no subsidy that was removed. What are they using the money for? For you to have an idea of what the enormity of spendthriftness, of wastefulness that is going on. An average senator has a house in Abuja, has his own personal house, probably has another house in London. And in each house, he has his cook, his driver, his cleaners, his whatever, and they are there. The problem you see with Nigeria is not rocket science. There's no problem. When I say there's no problem, I don't mean there's no problem. It's not as if there's no science. You don't need any science to solve it. All you just need is just fight corruption. And there is no science. It's not a rocket science to fight the type of corruption that we have. To solve the problem of Nigeria is not rocket science. All you need to do is simply fight corruption. And for you to fight corruption, you must be yourself, not a corrupt person. And that is where we Nigerians come in. You are electing corrupt people to go into office that will not have the power to tackle corruption. Because if I'm a thief and I want to fight a thief, the thief is going to fight back at me. Why do you think they are unable to arrest Yaya Bello? Why do you think they could not arrest Yaya Bello? Because he has told them, invite me to court, come to court where this same court, this same people that I gave 200 million naira. Of course you can't arrest him. The person that you are sent to go arrest him is a corrupt person. The person ordering the arrest is corrupt. The person who is going to give the final order to arrest person is corrupt. So what are you saying? You think if Yaya Bello decides to open up to what he did for Tinubu, you think we will not be? Of course, it's not going to be come as a surprise. Whatever Wike does in Abuja, Tinubu cannot do anything to Wike because they all know what they did. Now, somebody who tells you that elections are not served a la carte. You have to grab it, you have to snatch it, and you have to run away with it. In other words, he's saying that election must be stolen. That is what it means. You must steal election in order to win it. Now, imagine the mindset of an individual like that, spewing that kind of perspective, and you elect him to the office to go and run an economy for you. So at the end of the day, there's a huge problem ahead, and I think the lifespan of Nigeria will last till 2027. Trust me. I see some when I read some comments on my thread, sometimes I randomly just pick some and say, okay, let me go and see the age of this person that is making this comment. And I realize there are young people, between 30 and 40. These are the people who are supposed to see the very impact of the country that has been bestowed on them. These are the people that were told 20 years ago that they are the leaders of tomorrow. Now is their turn to be leaders. They are still fanning the embers of those who promised them to be leaders. They are still hailing them. Hey, Baba, Erire, Oshe Baba, Allah Jaza Maninka, I don't sabi speak Igbo. Hey, chief. The people that told you 20 years ago that you are going to be the leader of today has come. You are still hailing them to lead you. That in itself shows the height of stupidity and how these politicians have understood that your IQ is very low. See, no matter how dictatorial a president is, no matter how strong an army is, no matter how corrupt the system is, it cannot be stronger than the people, than the resolve. Please underline the word resolve. It cannot be stronger than the resolve of the people. Now, what the politicians understand is because they understand that Nigerians are incapable of resolving, of coming to a resolution. They are incapable of that. So, because what is happening in Nigeria didn't have to happen in Kenya before they started a revolution. People are being kidnapped. Phones are being used to call the loved ones of those kidnapped. And for you to get a phone number, you have to submit your NIN. Your NIN has a detailed facial feature of you, has your fingerprints, have your address, have your next of king's number, has if every detail about you is attached to a phone number. and you tell me that the Nigerian communication, Nigerian, whatever they are, cannot. And to tell you the hypocrisy of this thing is that if you go to a police station and report your phone stolen, they will say bring money for tracking. And truly, within 1 week or 2 weeks, they've tracked the phone and they will recover the phone. They will recover a stolen phone that is probably bought at 60,000 or 80,000, but cannot track a phone of a kidnapper. Now you see where we are. If you are hoping on Tinubu because he's a Yoruba man, I can understand that you are a victim of tribalism. And sometimes, as petty as it is, it could be, trust me, I've met some very disheartening and some very disheartening reprobates that call themselves Tinubu supporters, and they are mostly Yorubas. I thought the biggest problem we had was the religious fanaticism of the North. But having seen the bigotic, tribal bigot, what is the English? When I saw the bigotry of tribalism of the Yorubas, I can't the religious, because to be very candid, it's easier to discuss with a Hausa Muslim man about the realities of politics than to discuss with a Muslim Yoruba fanatic. It's very, very difficult. Because it's amazing that I know that Yorubas can bring a good leader. And Osibanjo, if an Osibanjo had come out and represented APC, trust me, Peter Obi will not even make name. Peter Obi will not even get the name he has. Peter Obi's popularity came as a result of the system's inability to bring a better candidate. So Peter Obi was rated better or best among the ones that were available. That was what culminated into the popularity of Peter Obi. If APC had brought out Osibanjo, trust me, Peter Obi would not have gone anywhere. So when I see I was in Ilorin, what I saw in Ilorin would have ended up, would have made me hate all Yorubas. What I saw in Ilorin, oh my goodness. There was no space at all. No rationalization. So, okay, let me even see let me even weigh the rods and cons and, use my brain to fish out the reality and the truth. Nothing. All they saw was that Peter Obi was a Christian, Peter Obi was an Igbo, and therefore will not vote for him. It doesn't matter whether it was proven to them that this is the man that will fix this country. They don't care. They are you're already used to hard life, not having good water, not having good sanitary condition. Anyhow, you have no foresight. You don't even believe that there is another life that is called comfort. Every day you spend waking up is about surviving. And you think living is about surviving. I mean, living a life. Life is not about surviving. Life is not about going to drink beer and chopping plate of fish and attending parties, driving the best of cars. That is not life. Life is the amount of impact that you make on people. If I die today, what will people say in my funeral? They'll say, Mr. Magnus is intelligent. He has impacted in my life by the messages he has sent to me. Now that's life. So don't come and say, I hate you. Come, let me ask you, is Yoruba inferior? Are Yoruba people inferior? Because you seem to want to protect This Yoruba, the only way you can do it is by attack. Why you know they attack Fulani? I've never seen a Yoruba man and a Fulani man fighting themselves. It's only Igbo, Southern, Edo, Igbo, Southern, Edo. You look how small they. If it were, imagine the Yorubas are on the same page with the rest of the South. You think the Fulanis will have the type of power they have, turning this country upside down? But an average Yoruba man thinks about himself alone. Particularly this group of Tinubu supporters. They don't see this country, they just see themselves. They just see our local. Since the Fulanis have been ruling this country, Fulani man has never used that statement. It's Fulani's turn, or it's Hausa turn, or it's Igbo turn. It's only this Tinubu government that we saw Yoruba local. So please, don't. I've told you that if it were not for some people, if it were the experience I had in Ilorin, I would have hated the Yorubas with all my heart. If you decide to take the word if alone and make your conclusion because you want to hate me, fine. It's okay with me. I'm not scared of you. You can work with whatever impression you have about me. I don't care. That's because a lot of us have very low IQs. And I cannot work with people that have low IQ. How would you have a choice of Tinubu, Peter Obi, and Atiku? And Tinubu at the end of the day is your president. And some, even with after 1 year of testing what this man can dish out, some people are still supporting, like this guy, what's his name, Sheilo. I saw Sheilo and I'm like shaking my head. Sheilo, have you been to the market lately? Have you been to the market lately? A bag of semovita, we bought it when day before yesterday, 15,200. 15,200 naira. That is what they pay some workers in the shop. I still find it difficult that some people could cling on to their tribal proclivity or their tribal bias in the face of this harsh reality. That a man who never had a plan of fixing Nigeria, the only plan he had was just to come and be president. I want to be president. What is your plan? What plan do you have for Nigeria? I say, first day, hit the ground running. Second day, keep running. Third day, don't stop running. And he thought 200 million, the lives of 200 million Nigerians is a joke. Nigeria is a joke. And he was talking about running the first day, don't stop running and keep running. He never for one day told you what he was going to do. Increase tax net. Reduce the purchasing power. How does a man tell you that he's going to reduce your purchasing power? Is your purchasing power not reduced today? You have so much money in circulation. I was in the bank one time. I just see money everywhere. There's so much money, quantity of money in circulation, but with very low value. Well, the truth about this thing is that you like support Tinubu, don't support Tinubu. It doesn't change anything. The truth is that the same Igbo man that you want to teach a lesson, the same Igbo man that you have sworn that they will never be president or you must reduce their political relevance in Nigeria, trust me, go to the beer parlors. Now them they cancel bottles. Go to the boutique. Now them they buy clothes. Go to the market. They are the ones shopping. Go to the supermarkets. They are the ones shopping. Look at the roads. 50% before for every 10 cars that will pass, 2 must belong to an Igbo man. Go to the filling station. Any filling station, they are the ones buying the fuel. So any attempt, because you want to teach the Igbo man a lesson, you're just look at it. You're the one suffering at the end of the day, because these people already have a system of making money for themselves that is not tied to government. Even the ones working for government have a business on their own that yields money. So you say you want to suffer the Igbos, you are not suffering them. I'm not an Igbo man. So keep supporting Tinubu because you don't want Igbo man. There are some Yorubas, I can tell you that instead of an Igbo man to be president, let Fulani rule for 100 years. There are some Yorubas like that. But because I was also lost in this, Magnus Oraka, at one point in time, I was also lost in this hate Igbo at all costs. There was a time I also didn't just like Igbos. When I just see them, I just dislike them. I just don't like them. But I can't ask, what exactly? I now realize that when I was growing up in Kaduna, SS5 GBR Road, going to school, I would see, Yamri Yamut Yakari, all these narratives, nomenclatures that suggest Igbos are inferior, and in order to feel big, but I kept deceiving myself, because as much as I thought the Igbos were inferiors, they were including me too. Me, the Yoruba man, the Ijaw man, the Calabar man, the Edo man, all of us, we are all termed as Yamiri. So who was I fooling? I thought I was with the Hausas looking at the Igbos as inferior, whereas me too, I was also termed as inferior as them. But the thing that really got me, say, okay, if they can gang up for an Igbo man not to be president, is it me, the Yoruba man, that will become president tomorrow? Nigeria is too big to allow only Lagos to be the point of entry of all our containers. Nigeria is too big. Nigeria is too big. But they are afraid if they open seaport in Warri, open seaport in Calabar, 90% of the business in Lagos will die off, which will culminate, which will transcend into the business of the Southwest. And the idea they tell that ship cannot come to Calabar port, ship cannot come to Warri port. Who told you so? But when the colonialists came, it was in Calabar they dropped their ship to carry slaves. So why is it possible to carry slaves but can't bring goods there? It's funny. It's funny. We must correct these narratives one day or the other. We must tell ourselves the truth. One day or the other, we must tell ourselves the truth. At least we are getting there. There was a time that it was like Igbos were the one fighting this fight. Now, at least they are getting sympathy. They're getting sympathy from the likes of we, the South people. So whether you like it or not, the day the Southeast and South come together and say, look, this is what we want. This thing, you remember this Niger Delta Avengers? When I don't forget, Niger Delta Avengers, when they started blowing up, you know, something happened during that time that got me interested. When the Niger Delta Avengers were blowing up pipe, when we pipe, we they happy, we they support them, we they clap for them. The people will not be the pipe, they will not get the pipe, now then come the vex. Can you imagine? It's just like my house now, this is my television now. Outsiders come, they break the television. My children, they broke this television. The other children, they happy. But your own picking outside, the other children for the compound, come they vex, say, why we break our own TV? It shows that the people, they enjoy the TV, not my children. So it shows that for my own children to be happy that they are breaking their father's television, and another people with children, they vex, say, why would they break our part TV? Me saying that them, they enjoy the TV, not be my own children. Which is exactly what is happening to our oil. We are the custodian of the oil, but we are not the one that's enjoying it. And to make matters even more ridiculous is that they will throw small of that money to you. Will be happy. You they eat this money, they forget say you go die. You go buy, you go finish, you go waka. But you still want to pack. Because the masses are not willing to revolt. The masses are not willing to revolt. But you see this revolution that they are thinking will not come. It will see, there's a limit to which the masses will endure this hunger. It will definitely end. All this madness that this one, do you know what it takes to be a Tinubu supporter? You have to be absolutely insane to support Tinubu. See them on Arise TV. before question, I don't shout, hey, look, you dumb boy, let me talk. You cannot intimidate me. Look, young boy, keep quiet, let me talk. So the truth is that the country is so bad. So when I see young men of 30, 35, 40 fighting themselves on my thread on the base of Yoruba man, fight. To be very frank, Igbos are not tribalistic when it comes to elections. I'm not saying this because I want favors from the Igbos, because Igbos, they voted for Yaradua. Igbos, they voted for Atiku. Igbos, they voted for Obasanjo. I can assure you that if Labour Party had brought in Orji Uzor Kalu, the Igbos will not vote for him. I can assure you that. I can assure you that if Igbos had brought in Rochas Okorocha would not have won any state in the southeast. But I can tell you that a lot of Igbos voted for Peter Obi because they believed if Peter Obi came into power, he will make the economy suitable for all Igbos to do their business and thrive. That's why. Not because Peter Obi is an Igbo man, unlike those who voted for Tinubu because he's a Yoruba man. So, this group of Yorubas that have this deep-rooted hate. Look, I never knew how when I was moving with all those IPOB members, when they were telling me about how they hate them, I never felt it until recently. My brother, put it in any sentence you want. The truth is that the hatred for Igbo is very deep. Very, very deep. From some Yorubas. This guy to me name Onanuga. I don't talk him again. No. Some Yorubas. That revolution. Me, I'm too old. You see my hair. See, I'm too old. I know if you go carry stick stand. I can't even stand for 1 hour or 2 hours. So I've lived, at least I've crossed the threshold of life expectancy. I've crossed the threshold. It's you. What are you doing? Are you comfortable with this constant debate that takes you neither here nor there? This fighting that, hey, Omale, idiot, obediot, our local. This, at the end of the day, the prices of foods in the market have no tribe. The prices of goods in the market have no religion. The reality of the hardship in Nigeria have no religion, have no tribe. Everybody is feeling it the same way the other is feeling it. So why do you still engage on this tribal thing? Low IQ. Your IQ is very, very low. There is a man who I saw him fight that he even had to flog some people on account of Tinubu, that he persecuted some people in the sake of forcing them to vote for Tinubu. But he's hungry. He's hungry. He's hungry. He can't eat. Rather than coming together and seeing the truth that, well, I may have voted for Tinubu in the past because I loved him. But the reality is that the man has no future. Go to Abuja. 2027 is still far away, but the posters of Tinubu are in Abuja with his wife. The posters of Tinubu are in Abuja. It's so funny. And I'm seeing this man, what's his name, Kwankwaso, saying he wants to become president. President of who? President of who? The only time we have had a seemingness of an economy was when a southern man ruled, Obasanjo and Jonathan. So the northern politicians don't come in as nationalists. The only nationalists from the north who came in, Yaradua, unfortunately didn't rule for so long before he passed on. So most of these politicians or these presidential candidates, They come in as tribal champion. Even Omoyele Sowore that a lot of you are angling for. I've listened to him. He too is a tribal champion. Because Omoyele Sowore cannot win an election, cannot win a presidential election in Nigeria. Let's face it. Let's face it. But I'm not saying he doesn't have his own share of nuisance value. What I would have expected Sowore to do is put your own resources to somebody else's resource and plan a deal. If this thing happens, what's going to be in it for me? That's how the Northerners play their own. They have a way of playing a deal. Okay, do this, I will get this. So all this one that I see, the worst Southerner, as far as I'm concerned, the worst Southerner, in my own estimation, okay, the two most worst Southerner, in my own estimation is, and they are my age mate, Reno Omokri and Asari Dokubo. They are the two worst Southerners. Reno Omokri, it's like the only thing that gives you life is your characteristic hatred for Peter Obi, all because he's an Igbo man. Same thing as Asari Dokubo. And to think that this Asari Dokubo once called me that I should join him in his BNC, Biafra National Congress. But I said, okay, I like somebody with a clout, somebody with poise, somebody with finesse, somebody, not all this, you go to social media, you carry AK-47 and all this, they talk like, some of your talks are being used for comedic skits and all those. I may not have money, but I want to be associated with class, with finesse, with a system that works, with a structure that has rules, with a structure that has formula, which provides the necessary goals. So I don't operate that way. But the most painful thing is that you see the victims fighting themselves over the crumbs. Have you seen dogs, puppies feeding? The food is enough for everybody to eat, but they are fighting themselves to eat it. At the end of the day, it is them that will throw majority of the food away on the ground. That's what they are doing to us. What is our own? We have it in abundance. They throw crumbs to us and we are fighting over it. Come to the north here, you see somebody, he no go school, he no get any handwork, but he get mansion. I was in Maiduguri the other day. One Alhaji Sabonkudi, yes. He doesn't even know how to sign a stamp. They bring document and stamp, he go take press and I'm being signature. But his house, he has an estate for his wives. They are in his own in Palo alone be like reception of Transcorp Hilton.
So my people, that is it. Mr. Maglus have already said it all, honestly, which I quite agree with everything that he said in this particular video. So if you're among those that are still expecting good things to come out from this Tinubu administration, well done. So my people, I would love you guys to leave your thoughts in the comment section about what Mr. Maglus said in this video. Just as I said before, please, if today is your first time, don't forget to subscribe, like this video, share it as well. Thanks so much everyone for sharing my video. Thank you so much for your support. I truly appreciate you all. I'm going to see you guys in my next one. Goodbye for now.